Have you guys ever told someone about a game that you absolutely love and all they do is hit you with the, isn't that game just for kids? Every time I hear that, I honestly think that they're just missing the point. Because I randomly started playing Captain Toad Treasure Tracker the other day. And dude, that little game reminded me of something that I didn't even realize, and now it's led to me making this video. So first off, I just want to start this conversation by just saying that this isn't about all video games as a whole, but rather focused on a specific type of game and why I think all gamers need it in their lives. I'm willing to bet if you started playing video games at a young age, that you started playing with some kind of iconic figure. You probably played with Mario, Sonic, or heck, maybe Crash Bandicoot. Shout out to you Spyro fans, I see you out there, stay strong. Now, why did you play those games? It can't be that we just played them all because we liked the cartoon figure and that was the reason why we played. No, there was more to it. There was challenge at the right level, discovery, humor, and the best part of it all, there was some kind of charm. But the part that I realized as I sit here recording this video, where did that suddenly change as we got older? Why did many of us linger away from those games? Almost like it was an embarrassment to say, wait, I don't want to play these anymore. Or like to show interest or to share this with other people. Like that kind of went away for some reason. Why do we shun people from it? Like why was this built into society for us to say, hey, you can't play this because now you're at a certain age? If anything, I say more people should envy the people who never left, because I know I do. Now, you're probably thinking kids games are just easy. I wanted a challenge and deeper stories and so on. That's great. Nothing wrong with that. And I mean, I'm right there with you. I'm not saying it has to be one or the other. I'm saying that we should allow ourselves to preserve our inner child. You see, I decided to randomly play this game because at first my thoughts were, why am I even drawn to this game in the first place? This is for kids. Then I realized that's just the stigma of society being put on me. So I fed into my curiosity and started to play. Immediately, the game just goes into it. No menus, no press start. I loved that. The game didn't waste time. It just jumps right into it. It was like a perfect hook to a game that I was already entering kind of skeptical of, but that alone told me to just trust my instincts and to just play the game. There clearly was a reason why I was drawn to play this. So you're just on this little cube with Toad, and you gotta go to the top to get to the star. And sure enough, like the creativity and what makes the game feel so special is the moment you rotate the cube, the angle changes, all of a sudden it's like almost a whole new map, a whole new world. And it's like, whoa, I wanted to just keep rotating the level because I couldn't believe how a tiny cube kept revealing completely new paths. And so like I would do this in multiple different levels. The developers knew what they were doing. They somehow managed to make it feel way bigger than it actually was. And Toad doesn't do any combat outside of picking up little radishes and chucking it at dudes. You know what this game kind of reminds me of? You know how people sometimes talk about how animated movies are for kids, but they somehow find really unique ways to sneak in adult humor? Like, the people who make those movies know that parents will be going to those movies, so they need to make sure that they have a good time also. So they sneak in these little jokes, so little things that kids would never ever catch on, but an adult would catch on to it, right? And it's really, you know, they do it in a really smart way. Well, Nintendo knew exactly what they were doing here. On the surface, this game is a super simple, and you would say that it's for kids. But once you dive into the game, there's really an adult layer to it. The game adds replayability with specific challenges to each level. There's one that sticks out to me that I had to like get through the whole level without being seen by the Shy Guys. It honestly took me immediately back to Ocarina of Time when you're trying to get into the castle to see Princess Zelda for the first time, almost to the T. That's what it felt like. But you see, a challenge like that, there's just no way they made it and said, yeah, this is definitely something a 7-year-old would want to do. As simple of a challenge it may be, it also required patience and skill. I only got to play about an hour and a half of the game, but so far, I love it. It just has this charm and uniqueness to it that no other game has, not even for Nintendo standards. There's another level where you're on a beach, and I was trying to complete a challenge for getting enough coins. Then there's these little mole guys who shoot rocks, and there are also like 3 piranha plants on the level. I'm here thinking in my head like, okay, how am I gonna get rid of these piranha plants? I don't have a way to combat. I can't like jump, I can't punch, I can't do anything. So I thought to myself, wouldn't it be kind of cool if I could get one of these moles to like throw a rock and hit the piranha plant and then it'll like kill the piranha plant? And I looked at the piranha plant and thought, I can't kill this. Then I realized, wait, what if it actually, like, what if the mole could do it for me? And it actually worked. Dude, I don't know. I just thought that was like the coolest thing ever. It was just a really unique way to have combat in a game where you aren't really doing the combat. The funny thing is, none of this was like groundbreaking, none of it was revolutionary, but I just couldn't stop smiling. I would have never guessed in a million years a game so simple would would make me realize how much I just love playing games, man. Then after doing like 10 levels, the game has like a boss fight, which I was thinking to myself, how are you gonna have a boss fight when Toad doesn't do any combat? Again, doesn't jump, he doesn't punch. Like, how do you do a boss fight? Well, you're dropped into a volcanic cave with this big dragon, and I'm now going, okay, a gigantic thing. So I started to think, okay, maybe it's gonna be the way you eliminate Shy Guys. You're gonna have to pick up these radishes and then chuck it at him and hit him in a specific spot, or he's gonna have something like a little bump on his, you know, his head or something, then you gotta drop it on him. I don't know. I was, that's what I was predicting. But no, the game surprised me in finding a fun and unique way to have a boss fight. You need to take Toad around in circles and climb up to the top, but as you're going up, the dragon's shooting fireballs at you, and you also still gotta find the 3 diamonds throughout the level. That's if you're trying to complete it with getting everything that the game offers. Honestly, I couldn't help but take the visuals in for this. Like, considering the game, it came out in 2018 for the Switch, I actually caught myself, you know, stopping for a second during the dragon fight just to look around for a second. I don't know what it is, man. I just couldn't stop looking around. The whole game just had this charm to it. Like, this was just making me think this was a Wii U game and then a Switch game, and this looks that nice. Like, I was just really impressed. And like, is the game easy at times? Sure, but I don't think that it's the point. So what is my point? My point is that not every game has to be a game of the year. You know, some games know what their purpose is, and this game is definitely one of them. Captain Toad isn't trying to be Elden Ring. It isn't trying to be God of War. It isn't trying to be, you know, The Last of Us or Halo. It isn't trying to blow my mind with some crazy plot twist. Dude, it just wants me to smile for a couple hours. We don't need every game to be this cinematic story-driven masterpiece. Now, do I like those kinds of games? Of course I do, and I will be right there with you, all obsessing over the next big game when it happens. I mean, for me, that recently was Clair Obscur. That's a masterpiece. That's an instant classic for me. That's one of my favorite games of all time now because that game was so amazing. But this little mushroom head guy, I think personally he deserves some flowers too. And that's when it kind of hit me. Why was I smiling this much over a little mushroom with a backpack? I think it's because somewhere along the way, I realized with bills, responsibility, work, deadlines, somewhere along that way, I just stopped giving myself permission to simply play. Why was I acting like I needed permission to enjoy this? Maybe that's why Nintendo games still resonate with me. Nintendo just gets it, man. They aren't afraid to make a game that's just fun. Whether they intended it or not, that's what I got from it. Games don't always have to be serious and to be some kind of sweat fest. Heck, I honestly feel like sometimes games are giving me homework more than they actually make me relax. Some games ask me to log in every day, some ask me to finish my battle pass, some ask me to complete my daily objectives before they disappear. Somewhere along the way, I realized my hobby started to sound like a job. I realize now I just want to chill. To be honest, I think I just miss playing games because they're fun. But I'm also wanting to still play deeper and more mature games, don't get me wrong. But I'm also trying to say is I hope more people can see and feel what I'm feeling also. Games shouldn't have to feel like an obligation. They should feel like a reason or an escape to something that no other format can provide. So this made me think and realize maybe that's why I don't think these are kids games anymore. I think they're reminders. Reminders that it's okay to slow down. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to be curious. It's okay to play. Because somewhere along the way, a lot of us forgot how. And it took a tiny mushroom with a backpack to remind me. So now I'm curious, what was that game that reminded you to just have fun again? Maybe it was Kirby or Astrobot or Lego games, Animal Crossing, whatever it was, I want to hear it. Thanks for being here today. I hope to see you on the next one.